Colorado's last school shooting happened in a charter school in Douglas County in May. Now, the school superintendent in that conservative part of Colorado is warning his charter schools. If they arm their teachers, they can get out of his school district.
Teachers are not armed. We will fight tooth and nail if any school, whether it's a neighborhood school or a charter school, decides to arm its teachers. If it's a charter school, we're going to ask that they leave the Douglas County School District oversight.
We had not heard DougCo Superintendent Dr. Thomas Tucker take that hard line against charter schools and arming teachers, and neither had Laura Carno. She's Colorado's best-known advocate for arming teachers. We talked this afternoon, and she said that she's hoping that school leaders like superintendents will listen to parents. She wants them to offer different types of security options to meet different families' needs. That superintendent's ultimatum came during a discussion of how schools can provide more security at no added expense to taxpayers. Our Marshall Zellinger was listening in.
Maybe you're not ready to say this, but what would you have us do?
A lawmaker known for long speeches summed up this school safety committee hearing in 6 words. What would you have us do? What laws can legislators pass to make students safer?
One of the issues that we see that I don't think will cost a single dollar to fix is today we inherit threats from other school districts and they inherit ours.
John McDonald, the face of public safety in Jefferson County Schools, suggested a law that requires districts to notify each other when a student moves and has had a threat assessment.
School districts will send the student's threat assessment along with their educational records so we know who we're inheriting. Right now there's no standards for that. So if a student engages in attack-related behavior in one school, he can transfer to another school district and they'll never know.
Another idea was for the state to cover the cost of school resource officers.
Right now, we pay in our district 50% of the cost of our SROs. I think in some communities, there's no support at all. Getting to a place where an SRO is something that's funded consistently throughout the state, I think, would be tremendously helpful to large systems like ours.
A third idea was about setting a standard for how school safety drills are conducted.
What is the janitor doing? What is the resource officer doing?
We're very, very focused on ensuring that we do proper lockdown drills for our kids. We start at preschool. We make no apologies for that.
Typically in the spring, we do an unannounced drill, and we're now at a place, given some emerging research, where we're reevaluating that because of a concern that the trauma of an unannounced drill may outweigh the benefits that we're trying to develop in kids and getting ready to respond if an incident happens.
There is another idea that got floated at the Capitol today, and it came from John Castillo, the father of Kendrick Castillo, who was shot and killed at STEM School Highland Ranch in May. Kendrick's father wants to change how we talk about what happened to his son.
I would like to see the renaming of the act itself. You know, instead of a school shooting, I believe that it's domestic terrorism. Nobody likes terrorism. I felt the same way when my son's life was taken as when the planes went into the Twin Towers in New York. It's the same gut-wrenching feeling. You know, when we say it's just a church shooting, just a school shooting, it just happened at a Walmart, it's just saying that it's isolated to those areas. No, it's an epidemic.
John Castillo also had an idea for lawmakers to include students in the conversation about potential laws that would impact students. Kyle, no decisions on potential legislation. This is just how they draft legislation ahead of next year's session. So every lawmaker will have a say in this next year, but nothing was decided today about what might move forward perhaps to next year.
The idea this summer work is to tee up some bills that might have some consensus behind them, but you heard Kendrick Castillo's father. He's talking about a cultural change. He's not talking about a legislative change.
I mean, we talk about no notoriety and not naming suspects or shooters. This would be a completely different look at of mass shooting events in the nation.